Hi guys, we're going to start our first Photoshop lesson here, and I thought I'd give you a video tutorial to help you out because there's a lot of steps to this. First, I have Photoshop open here. If you're on one of the computers in the lab, you can click on the Windows icon here, find Photoshop 2018. Adjust the microphone there. Hopefully I'll sound a little bit better. Um, so open that program up. Here we are. Um, this is our workspace here. I would like to start working on a photo so I could either find the picture I want to work on right here, open with, oh, it's not coming up with Photoshop here. So Photoshop, open, click on that picture there. Here we go. As you can tell, I have my picture open. I've already copied this off the camera and saved it with a name that includes the date the photo was taken. It has a name, Alaska Vacay, my initials. It's numbered and ends in JPEG. If you haven't done that already with your pictures and we haven't gotten to that lesson yet, then the first thing you need to do is go to Save As, rename it with the date, the assignment, underscore your initials, and and have number that image. Then find a place to save it. I'm going to click the Save Pictures down there. On the type, go down over here and choose JPEG. Click Save. I'm going to go ahead and keep the image quality to maximum, but anything 9 and higher is good quality for this class. I'm going to change this to Optimize Baseline. This is not necessary. If you ever want to make a 11 by 14 or wall size print of your picture later, this stuff uh, tends to be more important than if you're just going to be sharing your picture on a phone or any kind of small screen. It doesn't make a big difference. Okay, now we got our picture saved somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to crop and straighten your image. So this tool right here is the crop tool. There's a little video that pops up now. Makes it easy to learn how to use that. So it's on my personal computer, I have the tool set up in the classic way, but I'm going to show you how this works here in the current version of Photoshop. So we're looking to make a composition that is either rule of thirds, putting our boat in a rule of thirds spot if we can, or maybe centering it. Trying to figure out where my horizon should be. If my picture was at all crooked, with these lines, they can kind of go down to the water line. And that looks pretty straight. I'm not going to have to straighten it out. If I did, I could move the cursor until you get that, and that turns it. And you get the grid on there to try to find a straight line. So I'm happy with it straight. I'm going to maybe just make sure my little boat is right in the middle. I'm going to crop it so the top of the glacier right over here just goes off into the image and doesn't end before you get there. All right, now I'm going to double click inside the box here, and that applies the crop. Now I left this sliver of an iceberg down here, and that's bothering me. So I'm going to go in and do that there. Now it's cleaner down here, and it's easier to find the subject of the picture right here. All right, next up is to do adjustments in levels or curves. Now this is an either or. I'm going to show you how to do both, but you only want to do the levels or the curves, not both. Levels is easier to learn. So image, adjustments, both right here. Levels. All right, so you have little triangles here. This is pulling in the blacks of your image, and this is pulling in the whites. So, and this is what is called your midtones. So I'm going to play with that a little bit. If I wanted a lot of shadow detail under here, I would pull that. And the more I pull this in, the darkest pixels in the picture get. So if I wanted a lot of contrast, I would pull this in and then lighten this up and keep this all the way white. And that makes some of the ice here really crisp looking. Now it looks like I'm kind of losing detail down here. So if I adjust that, pull that back out. Okay, now I'm going to just cancel this out and show you how to do the same thing in curves. All right, now I'm going to go to curves. Image, adjustment, curves. So we're going to pull whites in, pull the blacks in right there, and pull the middle up to lighten up the midtones a bit. All right, now I'm going to go here to view, no, window. I'm going to click on history. This might pop up for you like over here somewhere. You can grab this and put it where you want it. This shows me all the steps I've done so far, and I can go back and undo things. I can undo that crop, go back to the original. Clicking on things adds them back in. So I'm going to keep what I did on curves. I'm going to go back to it. Now I'm going to drop a dot in the middle. And I'm going to put the slightest bit of an S-curve to add contrast. So I only want 3 dots in here. Okay. Let's see what I have compared to the original image. So this is the original image. And this is what we've done so far. So I've brightened up the highlights here. I've darkened the shadows, which has added contrast to the middle here, and I cropped out some messy stuff. The next step is to white balance. You can use color balance here. Now, I shot this photo outside on an outside setting on my camera. I think the color is very accurate to what was out there at the time. So I'm not going to mess with the color at all, but if you need to, you could do that with hue saturation, color balance, all this kind of stuff here. That isn't, yeah, I don't know about that one. Now let's say I wanted to adjust just a part of the image over here. I can use a lasso tool. To select the image, and then I can go back in, and whatever adjustments I need to make will only affect that. So what if I want to darken that up or lighten it? Now let's say I wanted to lighten it, but I don't want that hard line there. So that's called feathering. So I can feather it to about, let's say 80 pixels, because this is a huge image. Let's try that again. And we're going to adjust the curves again. See how it does it, but it makes like a softer line around there. So let's lighten that up slightest bit. Not that bright, just a teeny bit more than it was. Now we click off of here. And you can't really tell where that line is, but if you go here to here, you can see it lightened up a little bit. We'll have another lesson about retouching later, but this is the time in the editing process you would go and maybe use one of the healing tools or eraser tool, dodge and burn tool to adjust some parts of the image here. All right, now the picture is ready to export. I'm going to export as. And this is where you get to choose the size of the image. This is a huge file here. And I want to save the work I've been doing on it. And I just want to export a copy of the picture with the settings that are required. So I'm going to say 1500 pixels across. So the biggest number you have width is 1500 pixels. And whatever number ends up here is fine. So that'll bring it down to like almost 25% of the size. Metadata, hold on, keep that metadata with it, and convert it to sRGB. That's a good thing to do there. Now we're going to export it, and it's going to export to pictures, to save picture pictures here. Oh, no, let's make a new folder. There we go. We click save here. That saves everything on the image. And that's all we need to do for this. We're going to go back. We're going to find exported pictures here. This is a picture we worked on. And this is the one to submit on Canvas. So make sure that it's named correctly and it's in the right place. Exported, and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching.